Powerful and provocative, prophetic and practical, informative and inspirational. How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do. Come on, let's talk about it with me, the mind massager. What's up? Let me make sure I'm transmitting. If you can hear me, say hey, say hi, say something. Let me know that you're there, and we can go ahead and get this conversation started. That's what we got here. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, tell somebody that James Kirkland is on with the Intellectual Stew on Monday night live. Let me turn this music off. Hold on. All right, here we go. Let me make sure I am transmitting and we can get this show on the road. Yep, I'm transmitting. So we're there. We're live. So do me a favor. Go ahead, share this thread. Let somebody know that we are on and we're going to get this conversation started. I got some stuff on my mind. I don't plan on being on here too long, just a few minutes. And then once I finish up, then I can get ready to go to bed and get ready to travel tomorrow. But I wanted to go ahead and get this conversation started. So let me give you a minute. Go ahead and share this thread. Let's get this conversation started. Let's get it started. I see this gray in my beard. I thought it was Lent. I'm not used to having gray in my beard. I guess I'm getting old and Father Time is working on me. So I guess I'll embrace it and I will age gracefully. So, hey, what's up? If you're in the chat, say hello, say hi, share the thread. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and get this conversation started. I'm excited just to see exactly how we're going to go about this show. It always had Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but let me go figure out who it is. And y'all, I don't know what just happened, but I just got a sinus headache and it came out of nowhere. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Hey, LaToya. Yeah, I got a sinus headache and I don't like that. But it's going to leave in a minute because as I start to talk a little bit more, y'all watch me, I'm going to start feeling a little bit better. My little information didn't print like I needed it to print. But guess what? I can always work around all of that kind of stuff. Now, y'all know what my motivation is as it relates to this show. All I want to do is try my very best to try to make this community better. That's what I want to do. Y'all know this is part of my ministry. It's ministry means to meet needs, and you meet those needs wherever those needs may be. Sometimes they're not in a traditional church, but sometimes they're in the marketplace. Sometimes they're in the community. Sometimes it's on your job, and that's what I am trying to do. And one of my biggest issues now is watching all of the negativity on social media. I just don't get it. You ever heard of that thing called, who told me to take some ibuprofen? Okay, ibuprofen soda fit. Yeah, I got all. I'm taking it. But you all, it seems like our society is so comfortable breeding negativity. I just really, I don't get it. And there's an old saying that misery loves company, right? But let me ask something. Just because I'm an introvert, and I have people ask me to come over, and come visit, come to parties, come to social gatherings, and I decline, right? So that means that every invitation that is sent your way, you don't have to jump on every invitation, right? So just because misery loves company doesn't mean that you have to go be company for misery. And that's what I believe one of the biggest issues is for a lot of us in this society, especially with this social media thing. Y'all heard me say last week that social media a lot of times is like giving a 16-year-old a Maserati. You know, you give them this power, and they do whatever they want to, and I don't think we really realize what the power of influence does, right? You know, you look at certain people and they have X number of followers, and they have thousands and thousands of followers, and typically they follow them for such shallow things, right? It's not for anything that's depth. It's for something, maybe an outfit that they wore, or they had one silly video that might have gone viral, or whatever it was. But the thing is, once you get all of those followers, right, and once you get access to so many different individuals where they invite you into their lives, the question for me is, what do you do with that influence, right? Because see, when you have influence, that means you're able to move people. That means you're able to motivate people, right? Jim Jones had influence, and Jim Jones influenced a whole bunch of people to move to Guyana, and they drunk some poison Kool-Aid, and none of them are alive again, right? Because he had influence, but he didn't do proper good things with influence, right? Because you got so many people that are power. They want power, power, power. And I was always taught that the test of true power is when you're willing to give that power away, right? I believe in a power with principle as opposed to a power over principle, right? Because we're stronger together. We're stronger together. But I think sometimes when we have that kind of power, that power over type principle, it causes us to operate in a certain way that might not shed proper light. And that's our responsibility. Our responsibility is to be light. What's up, Anthony? We're just talking about influence tonight, man, for a few moments. We talk for a few minutes because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help people change the way they think. I don't want to sound arrogant or anything saying that I think better or anything of the sort, but I want us to change the way we think, because I think if we change the way we think, then we can have some better outcomes in life. So what I'm working on now is I'm trying to break us, Anthony, from stinking thinking. Stinking thinking. I mean, that means always going towards the negative as opposed to investigating. Does that make sense? Because we live in a society that loves to promote these negative narratives. I mean, when they a couple of weeks ago, last week we talked about Kiki Palmer, and they put out that false post saying that her boyfriend or her baby's father was trying to take the house and the baby, all those kind of things, right? Because who was it? Latoya Yvette said, if you change your mind, you change your life. You're absolutely right. If you realize that your attitude determines your altitude, if you want to go to another level in life, the easiest way to get there is by changing the way that we think. Why do we go with the first thought every time? I know that I get it. I know critical thinking everybody's not critical thinkers. We all think we're critical thinkers, and everybody thinks they have common sense. And I get it. It wouldn't be common sense, but common sense. What grandmama them say, common sense isn't always common. I get it. But some people, they run with. I mean, when I put that post out last week, I wish I would have kept it. But when I put that post out last week about Kiki, and I said, I'm trying to see something. In the caption, it said that it was false information. In the caption, it said it was false information, and it said, I want to see how many people are going to spread a lie, how many people are going to spread negative information. And you know what people did? They spread that negative information. And some people, I would look in the comments, and I would see in the comments where somebody might have said, he said that wasn't true. And then somebody said, well, girl, yeah, I know, but I still just wanted to share it anyway. Because he was still mad. But it's false information. In school, that ain't even plagiarism, because plagiarism, at least you're copying somebody else's paper that was real information. But that's literally slander. That's literally spreading false information. Now, this week, Same situation. We had Steve Harvey, right? Steve Harvey. Last week, I think they put somebody that was running one of his social media campaigns, put out a post and said, "Name a comedian that you think isn't funny." And of course, a lot of people jumped on Steve about that because why would he say that? And like he said, why would I say that? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So why would I say that? I mean, I would never disrespect anybody. So Steve fired somebody. Now, I don't know. This is me speculating. Let's put that out there. This is not fact. I don't know that, but somebody in his camp allegedly spread the rumor. They spread the rumor that Steve Harvey and his wife were getting a divorce. That was the rumor that was spread. Steve Harvey and his wife were getting a divorce. Now, what tripped me out, because I read one African publication. It was from Hard Pill Network. This is what the read up said. It says, according to reports, Marjorie Harvey. Hold on, I think I can share this with y'all. Let me see if y'all can see this. If I share it, if I share it and I can't see, then I'm gonna have to go back and do it on my own. Hold on one second. And y'all share this thread. We're gonna talk for a little while because I want to get y'all in on this conversation. So is this the right one? Nope, this is the right one right here. Okay, share. Let me see if I can make this big enough. So y'all should be able to see that, right? Yeah. Okay. If y'all can't see it, good. I'm gonna read it to you. It says, according to reports, Marjorie Harvey, the wife of Steve Harvey, is allegedly seeking $400 million in a divorce settlement. She filed for divorce in Los Angeles County Superior Court on July the 1st, 2023, citing irreconcilable differences. However, unconfirmed sources has it that Marjorie was found cheating on Harvey with his bodyguard and private chef. She is seeking for a divorce and a share of Steve Harvey's $400 million worth as a result. In her filing, she alleged that Steve had been unfaithful and had committed marital misconduct. She is misconduct. I'm sorry. She is also seeking primary physical custody of their two youngest children, Winton and Carl. That was Hard Pill Network reporting that. Now, okay, so here's the problem with that. First of all, it's not true. It's not true. Steve has come back and vehemently vehemently denied that this was in fact true. It's not true. But as who is that? Latoya said, it's a distraction. Because what'll happen is that so many people will see the caption, they'll read the post, and they'll automatically assume that it's true. And first thing they want to do is they'll start saying, I told you so. Or they'll start projecting their own ideals because some people don't like Steve, especially when Steve, I ain't gonna lie, I thought Steve sold us out a little bit too with that whole act like a lady, think like a man thing myself. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Steve sold us out a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Steve sold us out with act like a lady, think like a man. I do. So I wasn't the biggest Steve Harvey fan. But if he's married now and people can change and he's making a positive impact. I mean, he's got so many jobs. I don't even know when he would have time to cheat if he was cheating. But whatever happens, the problem is that with me, the problem is that we end up seeing these negative narratives. And when we see a negative narrative, we're so simple that we share it. Let me ask you a question. If you saw gasoline burning, right? If you saw gasoline burning, and excuse me, if you saw a fire burning, I apologize. If you saw a fire burning, would you run and throw gasoline on the fire? Huh? Real talk. If you saw a fire burning, would you run up and throw gasoline in the fire? No. I mean, because if you did run and throw gasoline in the fire, what's going to happen? Melinda, the fire is going to blow up in your face. So do me a favor. Those that listen to me, those that are part of Stu Nation that follow me, if you see something negative, before you hit the share button, think about it. Do some fact checking. I ain't gonna lie. You know, the first thing I did, Lazaric, as soon as they said Steve, that she was trying to sue him or get $400 million from him, I put in Google Steve Harvey net worth. That's all I did. And when I put in Steve Harvey's net worth, I think it came back at about $260,000. I mean, excuse me, $260 million. So that his net worth's not even $400 million. So how's he gonna get? And then the woman, they said the woman cheating with the bodyguard and the chef. I mean, I'm questioning that. I mean, just something about this is gonna make me question it. I'm gonna fact check it. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be the one that's spreading bad information. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. So do me a favor. Stop. Hold on, let me show you one more time. Lazare, let me show him one more time. Stop sharing negative narratives, especially even if they're not false. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to perpetuate bad information? What do you possibly gain from sharing bad information? We talked about this last week, and we had Dr. Ray Evans on. Ray Evans is a therapist, and Ray Evans, we got to talking about why it is that we like to put negative or bad information out there on people, and typically it's because of a self-esteem issue. That means when I have a problem with myself, then I'm gonna try to put you in a negative light. See, the old saying is, hurt people, right? So if I'm hurting, then I want somebody else to hurt worse than I hurt. That's it. And if I want somebody else, so if I can take the spotlight off of me, if you will, because if the spotlight's on me, see, you know what light does? Light doesn't let darkness sit comfortable. And anything that's done in the darkness is exposed once light comes in the room, right? So when that spotlight has the potential of being on you, then what we do is we put up a metaphorical mirror to deflect that light and let that light go in another direction. My headache's gone now. But let that light go in another direction, especially if I can make Steve Harvey look bad. Or if I can mess up Keke Palmer and her boyfriend or whatever, or anything else. When Kanye, it's always another flavor of the month. But at the same time, China and Russia and Iran and Saudi Arabia and all these countries are aligning. All these other things are going on in the world, right? But we are distracted sharing. Hold on, let me show you one more time. We're distracted showing negative narratives. Tell me why, please. This is the question that I'm polling the house with real quick. In your opinion, because it's all opinions. It's all opinions. And I'm going to talk about opinions for in a minute too. But it's all opinions. But in your opinion, why do we like to spread negative narratives? I gave you my synopsis. But why do you think it is? Let me read some of y'all's comments. Melinda says, I always look at the source and shared it and knew then and there it was false. Okay, that's good. Let me put that up. I wish I could see y'all's names. I wouldn't have to look at my phone. She says, I always look at the source that shared it and knew that it's so many satire. Y'all know what satire is? That means false. There's so many satirical sites out there that clickbait, that have viruses and all kind of things, and they're trying to get you to click in it. That's all they want. They're phishing, doing things, and we click on it. And when we click on it, we're sharing it. That's like the roach that goes out to the roach motel, gets in the poison, takes a little bit of the poison back to the colony and kills everybody. You take some negative information that's not even true, you share it. When you share it, it's like the poison that's going into all of these people's eyesights and into their ears and going directly into their spirit. And you had influence. And why would you share that? All the things you can share with that influence, and that's what you chose to do. Talk to me, please. I'm gonna say like I'm preaching now. Come talk back to me, somebody. Real talk. All that influence you got. Okay, somebody said, who was that? Yeah. Lazaric said, people, Conquering Lion said, people love controversy for some odd reason. Talk back to me. Why? Why is it? Why do we love to spread these negative narratives? Somebody please tell me. That's my question. And here it is. this is the thing for me. This is the thing for me because I'm really you know, I've been woke a long time, so I mean, I don't go ascribe to the term woke. I'm and God speaks to me, so I hear things, I see it, and I feel Him. So I pick up on things, right? And I notice how everybody wants things to be in categories, and they want everything to be absolute. It's either black or it's white, or it's right or it's wrong. But Lazarick, what happens when when you're presented with a scenario and both sides are right? Or what happens when two people have an opinion and each one has an opinion, and my opinion doesn't really affect you, and your opinion really doesn't affect me, but hell, we sitting over here arguing over an opinion for what? What sense does that make? Arguing over opinions. I mean, I was talking to a homegirl of mine yesterday, and I said something. I don't want to talk about it, but well, I do want to talk about it, but I don't want to open up a can of worms that I'm just really not ready to deal with. But we were talking about something that would deal with same-sex homosexuality and lesbianism, some things of that nature. And we started talking about, did you believe where you were born that way, or was the an effect of the environment? All those. We started talking, could circumstances happen? And at the end of the day, it could be all three. So this person here could have been molested and his mind might have messed up. This person might have been born with whatever chromosome. This other person here might have made a choice. But whatever it is, it's everybody's. We're all individuals. Do you realize that when God made us, He uniquely and individually gave us our own fingerprints? So if He gave us our own fingerprints, that means He gave us our own unique ways of thinking and all of those things. So with that, why would I sit up and argue with Connie? Why would I argue with Anthony? Why would I argue with Melinda over an opinion? Talk to me. Who said that? Conquering Lion. I like that. Let me read it. He said we should agree to respectfully disagree. Think about it. You and I could read the same verse in the Bible, come up with two different options. Doesn't make you or I right or wrong. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's why I do this podcast. Lazarick, you've been with me for a while. And you know what I don't try to change anybody's mind. I want everybody to share your ideas. I understand that, like I told you all on last week. Here it is. Where is it at? Romans 12:18 says something that means a lot to me. He says, if it be possible, as much as lieth within you, live peaceably with all men. Now, I don't care if you subscribe to the Quran. I don't care if you subscribe to the Bible. I don't care if you the Latin Vulgate, whatever you ascribe to. How can you dispute that verse? How can you dispute if it be possible, as much as it's in you, live peaceably with all men? Who cares if it's supposed to be in a white man Bible or whatever? Huh? I mean, because we should be trying our best to live peaceably with all men. Y'all realize, you remember on that movie with Jamie Foxx called Django? And they had the slave master, and the slave master would go and get two strong black men, and he would make them fight each other and would get mad at them if they didn't fight. He was teaching two people that didn't even have an ought against each other to fight against each other. And that's what happens with a lot of us as our people that we don't even have a problem with, but just because they look like me, it's like a bulldog mentality. I mean, Lazarick, y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Anthony, tell me if I'm wrong. But have you ever been somewhere, you walking in Walmart, another black man look at you, and you be like, what are you looking at? Tell the truth. What are you looking at? He be, hey, bro, what you looking at? Bro, you thinking in your mind, you better stop looking at me. I mean, for no reason, you automatically start to breed an atmosphere of competition. And y'all know I ain't lying. Tell me if y'all know, tell me I'm lying. And you know what we say, Lazarick? What that Negro looking at? Yeah, but we don't say Negro. We say, what that Negro looking at? Hey, you better find you something else to look at, player. All that kind of stuff. Because it's just, hey, what's up, Dawood? What's going on, bro? But that's something, it's an inner innate competition that exist in us for no reason at all. What's the purpose, right? We for no reason at all, we've already made ourselves these subliminal competition, so that it's so easy for us to spread a negative narrative. It's so easy to see something about Steve Harvey. Like I said, Dawood, I was not a Steve Harvey fan. I thought he sold all of us out with act like a lady, think like a man. He gave them all the game. And they were using it, bro. They had us on this whole 6-month rule. I mean, I'm joking about that part, y'all. I mean, but I couldn't. He got on my nerves. But I could not bring myself to spread that negative information. I couldn't do it. And by the same token, I can't bring myself to dislike anybody that I don't even know. What if? See, they understand the power. And I say they, I'm talking about the system, I'm talking about whatever, the system that's designed to destroy us as a people. They understand the power that's in us when we unite. They understand that. And so what their methodology has always been to divide us. The one thing they tried to do, even in the Bible, like I said, I don't care if you subscribe to the Quran, the Bible, the Septuagint, whatever, principles still apply, right? When David and the men were gone from the camp, the Bible says the Amalekites came and stole the women and the children. Stole them. Now, they stole them physically, but in our society, they have stolen them metaphorically. The system by removing black men from the house. Some of y'all say we left. Yeah, some of us did. But I don't deal in specifics. I'm dealing in generals in this particular instance, right? I'm dealing in generals, not in specifics. It's generally they left. Welfare came in, black men left. Privatized prison came in, black men left. All these things happen to destroy us and to divide us. Why? Because of what somebody right here, Anthony McCreary, says. Anthony said because they fear black love. They fear the black family. Abso-freaking-lutely. And what ends up happening is we end up with a society where, because the men are gone, because the black women and children have been stolen. I'm speaking in metaphors now, so please understand this now. But because they're gone, now we have warped and changed a whole generation. Black women are doing the absolute best they can. They're doing a great job. They are doing the best they can. But we need more men in the lives of our young boys. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We're changing now. Things are changing now. Things are changing. Listen what's going on. Let me show you this video. And I'm going to ask you a question because this is right where I wanted to be at. I'm going to show y'all this video, and then we're going to talk about it. Give me a second. Let me find it, and then we're going to talk about it. Thank you, Dawood. I appreciate that, bro. But this is what I want y'all to watch. Watch this video. I hope you all can see it. Hold on. Can I do it better this way? Hold on. Let me see if it's better this way. Yeah, we're going to do it. No, I'm going to do it the other way. Here we go. Here we go. It's not going to be as big as I want it to be, but here it is.
I don't want to get mad. I don't want to get mad.
No.
Go. Give me top.
Well, did y'all see that? All right, and in the comments, I'm going to play it one more time, but in the comments, what I want you to do is I want you to tell me what you saw. Tell me what your interpretation of that video. Tell me where you think it went wrong. I'm going to show it one more time, but tell me what you thought. And here's the question I want to pose. First of all, do you teach your children, first of all, do you teach them to keep their hands to themselves? Okay, that's the question, the overall question. But then as a sub question, I want to ask you, do you specifically teach your daughters to keep their hands off of boys? Let me play this video one more time. And listen, I asked this question a couple weeks ago, and first thing, a couple of women jump on, well, I teach my girls that well, I can't. I'm sorry. If y'all talk, that's not necessarily how you typed it just because I said it like that. I apologize. But what I heard was, I teach my children not to hit nobody. I wasn't asking that. I want to know if you teach them not to hit boys, and there's a reason I'm asking that. But let me show this video one more time.
Back up. I don't want to get mad. I don't want to get mad.
No.
Go. Give me top.
Okay. All right. So tell me what y'all saw. 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 Because in the video, we see a young girl. Doesn't he play it one more time? Just one more time. Hold on, in case somebody else is coming on. And I really would like to talk to a woman that's raising daughters. If I have a lady that's in the audience right now, and I don't.
Back up. I don't want to get mad. I don't want to get mad.
No.
Go. Give me top.
So there it is. There it is. I showed it 3 or 4. You saw a young woman going too far. Okay, she should have. Lazaric said she should have kept her hands to herself and remember that she is a woman. Well, she's a little girl. Don't try a man unless you want to get handled like that. Okay. Dawood said, I saw a young woman going too far. Janita, hey Janita, hey Joe. Joe said, well, I saw a young man trying to restrain himself until he couldn't, and she got slung. Okay. Conquer Lion, he said he should have restrained himself. However, I'm not with anyone putting their hands on me, woman or man, in a threatening manner. Absolutely right. But this is my point right here. Now, to me, the average woman, and I say average, there are some women who can whoop men. We knew that. I've seen it. I've seen some women beat the brakes off of a man. I get it. But the average man can probably beat the average woman one-on-one physically. No guns, no weapons. I'm talking about just straight up, right? Average, because we're physically stronger. Most of us are. Most of us are physically stronger. So with that being said, if you don't get off my couch, get down. Chloe, get down. What you doing on my couch? Okay, I'm yelling at the dog, y'all. But anyway, average. She done messed up my whole. She ain't got on this couch in 2 weeks. I'm about to throw something at my dog, y'all. It's gonna be a sock though, Peter. It'd be a sock, something real soft. But anyway, average. I'm talking average. On the average. But there are exceptional cases. So with that being said, I asked the question: do you teach your daughters to not to put their hands if not on men and on boys? Because if they're girls putting their hands on boys, they're gonna end up becoming women putting their hands on men. And a lot of times, like a young lady said on the post when I put it out there a couple of weeks ago, she said, I teach my sons not to put their hands on girls, but I don't know if the next woman teaches her son not to put their hands on girls. And what we have to understand is that right now, domestic violence is like at an all-time high. I mean, it's crazy how domestic violence is taking place. A few weeks ago, they had this story about what was the kid's name? What was the kid's name? Let me find it right here. Marcus. Here it is. Here it is. One day I'm gonna give. Oh yeah, here it is. Marcus Lofton. Now this is he and his wife in Grand Rapids, Michigan. She filed for divorce because she allegedly, I don't like sharing bad information, but she allegedly caught him messing with a man. And so because she caught him messing with a man, then she filed for divorce. When he came over to talk to her about it, they get into an altercation. He ends up shooting her, and here's his mugshot. He killed his wife. Somebody that he pledged to have and to hold in sickness and health, for richer or for poor, till death did of them part. He ends up shooting her and shooting her dead because she filed for divorce. Right? And that wasn't her fault. That wasn't her fault. That's my point. He's unstable anyway. This man right here, Hassan Adiamo, and I think that's pronounced right. Adiamo, something like that. But anyway, he's in Orlando, Florida, 46 years old, killed his 43-year-old wife, shot her dead. You don't know what these men are thinking these days. You don't know what kind of love. My daddy taught me to walk away. Now I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm gonna try to restrain you. First of all, I don't argue. I'm not. I don't do a lot of arguing. If I see that you've raised your voice, I'm gonna probably hit you one of those. Well, okay. Like, I'm confused. What? Who? Did you have children over here? Did you feel like you could yell it? Like, because I don't care what you're yelling about now. At this point, now we got to figure out why you're yelling, because I'm not your child. And I'm not going to talk to you disrespectfully. So therefore, I don't deserve to be talked to disrespectfully. And so once we establish that foundation, then we can move farther. I'm not going, and honestly, I'm the type person, real talk, when I get angry, I get quiet. Now that's not. Because I don't want to lose it. And the thing is, like, y'all have heard me say this umpteen times. I don't argue with nobody that I can't fight. And since we can't fight, what we talking for? Real talk. What are we talking for? What we arguing for? What we going back and forth for? The best thing to do at that particular point is to sit down, be quiet, calm. Grandmama used to teach us in the country, because I'm from a rural area of Arkansas called Sherrill, Arkansas. And whenever the storms of life came, whenever the storm would come, when the sky would get black and the torrential rain would get ready to fall, what my grandmama would tell us to do was sit down somewhere. And when I get angry, when I get upset, where it feels like I'm about to lose control, I'm sitting down. I need a break. And whatever we were talking about, let's revisit that in a few minutes, if we love each other enough, right? Let's handle it like that, but some people can't handle their anger like that. And so when you watch that video, when that young girl, when she's hitting him, he's trying to restrain. Y'all tell me what y'all saw. She's hitting him. He's trying to restrain her. He's like, stop. I don't want to get mad. I don't want to get mad. And then all of a sudden, smack, she hit him in the face. When she hit him in the face, he lost it. And he didn't lose it long, thank God. He didn't black out, because sometimes when a man loses, sweetheart, young lady, when he loses, you wake up and everything in the room is destroyed. And that's what I don't want to happen. So that's why I'm asking you, do you teach your daughters specifically not to hit men? Because I'm teaching my son not to hit women. I'm teaching my son, and I'm hoping that most people are teaching their sons not to hit women. Now, I hear some women, tell the truth, women, y'all teach them, if she hits you, knock her ass out, don't you? And I get it. I get it. But you do realize that when you tell him to do that, you're projecting, you're putting yourself as a woman in the position of knocking that girl out. You're not considering his strength as a male. You're not considering what's coming, because they coming to get him. It ain't domestic violence. They ain't even it's no negotiation, none whatsoever. Let's look at it one more time. Hold on, because some of y'all just checked in. Let's look at the video one more time. Hold on, I moved it around a little bit. Let's look at it one more time, because he tried to restrain. Look at it. He is trying. Y'all talk to me. He is trying his best to restrain her, but she keeps coming.
Back up. I don't want to get mad.
No.
Go. Give me top.
Did you see her facial expression when those feet got turned upside down and she was up against that wall? She thought about it. At that moment, when she realized she messed up, and thankfully somebody got between them to break him for that moment, to break that thought pattern for a moment, to keep him from going forward, hitting him. Let me ask you, women that have daughters, are you raising your daughters not to hit girls? She came back to reality. Who said that? Conquering line. The problem is most of these young ladies. Okay, hold on. Let's see that. Let's unpack that. Let's unpack that. The problem is most of these young ladies see their mothers act out like that with their man, or have seen them talk crazy to other men, and feel that they can handle young men like that It starts in the home and spills out into the world. And you're absolutely right, sir. But let's take it even a step farther. How many times do you see that on social media? Women cussing men out, slapping them, putting their finger all upside their head. I remember one time a girl did that to me, and I almost lost it. I was that close to losing it, and thank God somebody stepped in, because I mean, if somebody wouldn't have stepped in, I might have. And this was not my ex-wife, so don't try to speculate and see who it was. I never put my hands on her. I never. We didn't even really ever argue like that. But ever no, didn't even argue, because I don't argue. I mean, anybody knows me. That's just not my temperament. Because like I said, if I lose it, I lose it. and with me, this is the thing with me. See, I know men and brothers, y'all help me, because women I know tend to be a little bit more emotional, and that's I love that part, because we're different. If a woman was just like me, I promise you I wouldn't want her, because she would be a man. So I want us to be different, right? So women can say stuff and say it in a moment of emotion, and it just say it and then it's over. When you say it to me, it take me a minute to forget it. It's hard when you say something out of turn, or you try to emasculate me, or you come from my manhood. I'm doing a little bit better at not being offended. I mean, I'm growing up. I ain't gonna lie, I've grown up so much in the last 6 months. I mean, I know I'm 51, and it probably sounds crazy to say that I'm growing up so late, but I really, really, really feel like I'm getting my second wind in life. I really feel like some things are shifting on my behalf. I mean, if y'all familiar with the biblical story of Samson, that was after Delilah had cut his hair. You know, once hair is cut, eventually it grows back again, right? At a certain point, Samson's hair grew back, and when his hair grew back, his strength came back. Now he was blind, but he was still strong. And I feel metaphorically, I can feel my hair growing back in the same way, right? And the things that used to make me upset don't bother me as much. I mean, for a long time, y'all would hear me talk about my methodology of middle fingerology. When I learned how to insulate myself with my middle fingers, it's a metaphor, you know, and y'all know what a middle finger stands for. But that was my way of insulating me and keeping everything negative away from me, and it helped me, right? It really did. It really did, because now I'm not as easily bothered. I don't like getting upset. Who likes getting upset? Who likes your blood pressure going up? Who likes getting headaches? Who likes going to bed angry? Who likes any of those things that are associated with being upset? So my thing is, learn how to channel your anger. Do not put your hands on anybody, because you know what? They might retaliate. And sisters, hear me on this. Let me show y'all some of these statistics. This is crazy. I want y'all to see this, because this is real talk. This is real stuff right here. Hold on. Let me see. Where is this what I'm looking for? Or is it this one right here? This is the one right here. Hold on. All right. So y'all see that? It says when men murder women. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. All right, there we go. When men murder women, black females killed by males, some of the key findings. Let me show y'all some of these statistics. Number one, 90% of black females murdered by males in single offender incidents knew their killers. Do y'all see that? 90% of single females that are black females murdered by males in single offender incidents knew their killers. They weren't killed by strangers. This was not incidents where they were walking down the street and somebody mugged them and killed them. No, this was somebody that they had a relationship with, somebody that they had intimate contact, not sexual intimate contact, but it was somebody that they knew. That's one thing. Next thing. Next statistic. Of black victims who knew their killers, 56%, that's 259 out of 464, were either wives, common law wives, ex-wives, or girlfriends of the offenders. 56%. These are shocking statistics. 56% of were wives or common law wives. They victims who knew their killers. That's crazy. Next statistic. In 2020, black females were murdered by males at a rate nearly 3 times as high as white females, 2.96 per 100,000, in comparison to white women who were murdered by males at a rate of 1.07 per 100,000 that year. That's almost 3 times the rate. That's almost 3 times the rate black women were killed by that were murdered by males. So the next statistic: 92% of the deaths of black females killed by males were not related to any other felony, such as robbery or rape. You know what that means? Let me stop for a minute. You know what that means? That means that it was something that was done in the moment. That means somebody clicked. It was a crime of passion. It might have been a crime of passion, but something happened in a moment, and that person clicked and killed that individual. 92%. 92% of the deaths of black females killed by males were not related to any other felonies. Y'all got to be careful out here, young ladies. Y'all, I mean, ladies, sisters. I got daughters, so I got to teach them. My baby told me a few minutes ago she's about to go skating. I said, all right, be careful. Smyrna ain't playing. Always be aware of your surroundings. Be vigilant. That's the daddy in me, but I have to trust her because I've trained her, right? So one more, I think it's one more statistic. Let me make sure if it's not one more. Yeah. This says nearly 2/3 of non-felony related homicides involved arguments between the black male victim and male offender. Nearly 2/3 involved an argument. An argument. Is it worth? Okay. 67% were shot and killed with guns during that argument. I'm gonna go read this next because that one bothers me. In 2020, black females accounted for 14% of the female population of the United States. Yet black women accounted for 31% of the females killed by males in single offender incidents. Firearms, most frequently handguns, are the most common weapon used by males to kill and murder black females. In the 571 homicides for which the murder weapon could be identified, 72% black females were shot and killed with guns, 62% handguns. That's a lot. Let me go back to this one right. That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot to think about. I want to look at this one slide again. They said nearly 2/3 of non-felony related homicides involved in an argument between the black female victim and the male offender. Think about that. I ask this question often. And my question, and I want to pose it to you all again. The question is it more important to get your point across, or would you rather keep the peace? Answer that question for me. Is it more important to you to get your point across, or would you rather keep the peace? I want to give y'all a second to answer that. What do y'all think? Is it more important to get your point across, or is it more important to keep the peace? Because it's according to these statistics that say nearly 2/3 of non-felony related homicides involved arguments, and 67%, 171 victims were shot with guns and killed with guns during that argument because somebody didn't want to hear it. And I get it. Who Johnita said depends. I get it. But if and here's the question, even with that, because you said it depends, and I get it, and because I know you want to get your point across. But when the temperature gets too hot and there's almost a boiling point, are you able to reset? Because obviously, if the temperature is this high and we're getting hot and heated, ain't nobody listening. I'm talking. Nobody's listening anymore. And so now it's a mute. And so it's like Charlie Brown's teacher saying, womp, 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 womp. Because I promise you, the moment somebody yells at me, especially as a 51-year-old man, I blank out. I lose it. I'm done. I mean, I'm not losing it as far as like gonna click or go off or swing or because I don't do that to women. But I'm not hearing you anymore. I can't. We're on different. It's like that radio. It likes that. It's like the radio, the three knob radio. The frequency just changed, and all I hear is screeching, and I can't even communicate it anymore. Who said that? It takes skill, and this comes with age. I think I agree. And maturity will teach us at a certain point. You know, somebody asked me, say I was talking to somebody the other day they're like, well, what are your what are your deal breakers when it comes to relationships? I said, I don't really have a whole lot of deal breakers. I mean, I have preferences as far as what I like, aesthetically and things of that with a woman. I like, I'm not, I mean, we got to have a certain, we got to think, we got to be able to talk, things of that nature, and the subjects and verbs going to have to agree and things of that nature. I said, but I don't really have deal breakers. I said, as long as you give, like, and I heard Lisa Leslie's husband say this a long time ago, and this works for me. But he said, as long as you give me peace and I can get a piece every now and then, that's all I need. I'm simple. It don't take a whole lot, and I'm not, yeah, I'm, and you can pretty much do what you want to do. I mean, so I'm not going to question you or argue with you about what you're doing. Now, you might not like something I do, and if you express your opinion in me as your partner, then it's my responsibility to recognize what bothers you and do my best to make that change. As Michael Jackson said, look at the man in the mirror and make that change, if I need to do it. And I don't have a problem doing that. That's what happens in relationships. What you say, Johnita? She said, because there have been times I wanted to lay hands, but truly put my life in perspective. My life not set up to go to jail. Please, though, you're too cute to go to jail. Anthony said it's more important to keep the peace. Men take and absorb so much on a regular basis. That's it. And that's the thing, ladies. He said we take so much on a regular basis from women, we finally just snap. And I think about it. We've been taking it most of our lives as men from the time we through life, and we get it in the world. I mean, sometimes when you go out in the world, and I know women have it hard too. I'm not saying that, I know, but y'all can handle certain things, especially when it comes to having to kind of take on a different road to work a corporate job and all those types of things. That's why it's hard for me to do it. I mean, that's why I hustle like I do, because I can't have anybody telling me what to do all the time. It's tough. But when you out in the world and you have to put, you have to wear the world like clothes sometimes, man. And when you have to wear it like clothes and you have to come home, you want to come home to a place of peace. You want to come home to a place of solid. When I would come home, I would have to come home, take off my clothes, and just go sit outside for about 10, 15 minutes. Just sit and just be numb for a minute, just to get it off. There are times, even when I've done this show, I remember I did one particular show that was entitled Rebounding from Rock Bottom, and I had 2 guests on that night. And I had to process their truths. One of them had been to prison, or had life in prison. No, he was on death row, and he litigated and got himself off. And to hear his truths. And then another guy who had been depressed and had gotten out of a murder charge. Man, to hear their truths was so heavy on me that after the show was over with, I just clicked the off button and sat here for about 20 minutes, just processing those truths, right? Because we wear the world different. Women, y'all can take emotions and and process them and go on about your business, but a man is different. It bothers us, some things, and I'm doing better now. Things that used to bother me, I'm like the old folk. Things that I used to bother me don't bother me like they used to bother me. I'm much better than I used to be now, but I'm growing. But my point is, all men don't think like that. Some men snap, and you don't know which one. And honestly, it only takes one time to snap, because the guy who in these statistics, one of the 171 women who was shot and killed by somebody that after the argument, I promise you, most of those guys had never shot anybody before. That was probably their first time clicking. And if it wasn't, if he had been domestically and abusing her before then, and she didn't leave, I know it's easy to say to leave, but I mean, things escalate. Things escalate. So my thing is, teach your children, teach your daughters. Learn how to de-escalate. I got daughters, and I would hope, and I talk to them about it. Don't be around here putting your hands on boys, because if one of these boys ever got froggy and wanted to put their hands on you, then daddy got to come see about them. And I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I got to, because they my girls, and I'm their father. You know, I'm their father, and it's my responsibility. And I think if a lot of these boys realize that these girls had men that were willing to stand up, because back in the day when it was 2-parent homes and when there were people in the house, the big brother would go see about if something happened. But that was when we would fight, though. Now they playing gunplay and all those things. So we got to be cool. We got to be cool. It's been fun tonight, y'all. But it's been real fun. We talked about a couple of different things, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I want to thank all my sponsors, all those that continue to support our show. I noticed I did not put I got to get me a producer. Y'all pray for me. I'm asking God to send me a program director or a producer to help me start doing some of the things on this show, some of the behind the scene things, some of the marketing things. We're getting ready to release we're going to relaunch the platform in a whole way. New website coming, new graphics coming, and I'm gonna need some people to help me kind of get some of those things out there. So y'all be praying that God sends me. So because I'm not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask. I know I could, but I'm not. I'm not gonna ask. I want somebody who wants to do it to come and let's talk about it. And if it works, and if it's a match made in heaven, we'll try to make it work. If it does not work, then guess what? We can still be friends and part company. I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, it's been real, Janitha. It's been real, Anthony. It's been real, Conquering Lion. All of you all. I appreciate y'all. Been a good show tonight. I'm still getting used to doing this thing by myself. I could have a panel, but I want to try. I'm trying something new, and it's coming along. It's coming along. So let me get out of here. That the world is changing, but my question for you is, why do you remain the same? Y'all be good, and I'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all. Peace out.